All right, we're on to day 10 of my journey across America on Route 66. Today is another day off the beaten path. I'm going up to northern Arizona to see Antelope Canyon, and then at the end of the day I'm going to Monument Valley. My health has improved considerably in the night, so feeling good, feeling positive. My glands are still a bit sore and a bit swollen, but I feel so much better than I did. So I'm really ready to see some beautiful scenery today. Alright, so it's 1:15 in the afternoon. We're in North Arizona on the way to Antelope Canyon. I've got a guided tour there at 4 o'clock, so we should arrive in good time. And then after that, I'll be making my way to Monument Valley, which is one of the more scenic parts of Arizona. Quite a lot of it is very scenic, to be fair. I have a request from Jill to talk about how easy it is to get gas along the route. Very easy. There's a lot of gas stations. I haven't struggled at all to get gas, and like with the phone now, like you can just type in petrol and it'll guide you to your nearest one, and there's an absolute ton of them littered all over Route 66, so no issues getting gas at all, and it's super cheap. I've been able to fill the tank up from zero to full, which is like, in this car it's a 400-mile range, so that's like something like 10 gallons for like $29. So it's very cheap. Obviously I've also talked about Route 66 and a lot of its towns are crumbling, which is absolutely true, and there's a lot of desolate and completely dead towns now, ghost towns even. But there are nuggets of really still thriving communities. They're the ones that have really put the work in to continue to attract people to their businesses. All of the ones who have those big giants outside of their shops, those, a big rocking chair, a big giant spaceman, a giant cowboy, like they're all of these places that put the work in still get lots of business, particularly around the larger cities. Because obviously Route 66 goes through places like Albuquerque and Springfield in Missouri, Oklahoma City. Like, these are big cities. They don't really need Route 66 as tourism to survive. It's the towns outside of that that need it. And there's a ton of towns that are still doing really, really well. And that is in part down to the fact that each state now has a Route 66 Heritage Foundation and committee, which the first one was set up in Arizona, and the leaders of that encouraged all of the other states, or the 7 other states on Route 66, to form their own, and they all did. And there is much more of a drive to preserve Route 66, which has, for all those towns that the community is still flourishing and thriving, is great news. But also it means that some of those towns that are dying have seen a little bit of a renaissance in recent years. Some of the scenery in northern Arizona is remarkable. The vividness of the red in the rock, it's how I imagine the surface of Mars looks, and it does have that feel of being a different planet. And I can imagine that they film a lot of sci-fi out here, just because the terrain is so otherworldly and so different to everywhere else that I've seen. Not just on this trip, but just at any time in my life. Like, the red is just stark. It's beautiful. So you might have to bear with me on this one. I'm going to try and be as normal as I can after what I've just seen. So yeah, I drove out to Antelope Canyon, which is a canyon that's been created by floods in Arizona, in northern Arizona. Every year they get monsoon-like weather for a few weeks, and it causes a flood. Millions of gallons of water end up filling up this canyon. It's made of sandstone and like zinc and quartz, for all you geologists out there. And it creates this extremely beautiful cave tunnel-like scape at the bottom of the canyon. And our tour guide, Ala, she's Native American. She was also a professional photographer, and she took a lot of pictures using my phone, which I was very appreciative of, because mine, in comparison, were absolute garbage. We're not doing the landscape justice at all. And so that was brilliant. And you know, it was about an hour's tour in there. You know, $73 for what it is. It's worth it. But what has ended up being the main event of the trip so far, I've just been to the most beautiful place I've ever been to, which is Horseshoe Bend, just outside of Page in Arizona. I've never seen anything like that. The colours, the dynamism, there aren't really any words that can actually describe what it's like being there. I mean, there's going to be a photo on the screen right now of it all, but it's not. I've been to places before that have knocked me off my feet, and the Grand Canyon was one of those yesterday, but not in the way that's just done to me there. Like no one had said to me, oh, by the way, like, you know, you've got to go to this place in Arizona. You know, everyone talks about being amazingly beautiful. It's like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon or something like that. That's just there, like, just available. I paid $10 for the parking to witness that, and I am overwhelmed by it. I must have spent 20 minutes just staring at it. And then even when I left, I got halfway up and I was like, oh, I should go back. Like, I've got to spend some more time there. I mean, I didn't. I carried on back to the car, but it's a very rare thing to just be sort of stunned like that, like genuinely stunned by the beauty of what you're seeing. And it's not like, you know, it's not a piece of art that someone has created, and you can like relate to the humanity of it, and you can see yourself in it or see someone you know in it. You you're just purely hit by nature and the world you're in, and the power of that and the transcendence of that. All of these words I'm using are absolutely meaningless in comparison to experiencing it. But you have to go and stand there and stand on the ledge that I stood on and just witness that. It's the sheer beauty. Alright, so I've just driven through Monument Valley in Arizona. And similar to Horseshoe Bend, like I've not been anywhere like it. There's a majesty to it. That I can't really describe. I've got videos on my phone and I've got pictures, but then they're nothing in comparison to what it's like to actually be here to witness it. What an extraordinary place, what an extraordinary day. I could spend my life here. This has been the best state in terms of landscape by a mile. Like, if there's anywhere more beautiful in America, tell me, let me know. I can't imagine that there is. It's just so stunning here. What to do now? I mean, what's next? You know, how can we top that? I don't think we can. I think we've hit landscape peak in Monument Valley. I didn't even take that many photos. It's pointless. It's pointless. It doesn't. I'm not a professional photographer. It's on an iPhone. I'll remember it. What an extraordinary place. Rather annoyingly, it is 3.5 hours away from my where I'm staying tonight. But it was more than worth it. But yeah, just gonna knuckle down. Long drive ahead, get my head down, and then we'll see what the situation is tomorrow.